Hi guys, I'm Thembekile Nkosi.
Hello, I am Amoré Swartz.
Hello, I'm Danelle Visser.
Hi everyone, my name is Mabaleng.
Gender-based violence is violence that is based towards any gender. Although in South Africa, gender-based violence is more towards women and children, but it is a violence towards all genders.
I agree. Like you mentioned that it's mostly around women, and mostly women face it. It's actually very scared that our government doesn't do enough to actually protect us as women. And it's very unfortunate that as a woman, you know when you leave the house, anything could happen to you. It's one thing that you know at the back of your mind, I could leave my house and not come back, and this could be the last day. And it's very sad that that's the South Africa that we live in right now.
Yes, we always feel scared, no?
And to mention that it also leaves children traumatized. Imagine having to witness your mom being beaten up. It's not nice.
Not at all. I feel like it's almost, in a sense, it ties into how we need to start educating ourselves about gender-based violence. And I remember we were having a talk about this earlier, and we mentioned how people tend to have this conversation too much, but nothing is being done. And I feel like as we have spoken about it, now it's time for us to implement action, because we are well educated about it now. We are aware of the problem now. We've acknowledged it. Now going forward, we should now do something about it.
Yeah.
It's time for the tables to turn, because I feel that, men still have this mentality that they are entitled to, things in this world, and things have changed. We're living in a different era, different century.
Although
so we should
gender-based violence does not always come from men, it could be another woman abusing another woman as well. So I feel like if we as women can start standing together, that would be a change as well.
But I also believe.
I agree. Yeah.
Sorry, did you have anything? But I believe that it's a cycle. Like it's a cycle that we actually have to take upon ourselves to break. As much as we say it could be a woman, it could be a man inflicting gender-based violence, it starts with you as a person, because some things do act as character development, and some things actually break you down. The same water that boils, that hardens an egg,
Softens the
potato, basically. So it could be the same circumstance, two different people and two different outcomes. It doesn't mean we're going to have the same outcome.
Hence, it's very important to pay attention in mental health, because some people, I believe that they can't deal with certain situations, then they tend to break down and, they act in different ways. Then it leads them to doing such things.
I think women got a voice. They actually have the opportunity to now speak up and say what they believe and say what they feel. We're not that scared to raise our voices anymore.
Yes, gender-based violence has become a topic, a very serious topic to be spoken about.
It's about time.
One thing I like is how feminism is not just a movement now, but it's actually something we live. It's something that we live as women now. It's not just a movement of saying, I believe in women's rights, I believe in equality, I believe in this. We're actually implementing it now. And I think that's also one of the contributing factors that are stirring a rise in this gender-based violence. A lot of people were raised a certain way, and a lot of men, unfortunately, still believe the old mediocre ways that a woman is supposed to stay at home and make babies and they still believe they have all the power and whatever. So now that women have finally claimed their freedom and their liberty, it's starting to rub them off wrong, and it's just sad that that's what costs our freedom. Like our freedom costs us actually being hurt in a certain way and all of that.
This is a very important question, because for me, as loud as our voices can get on gender-based violence, that's how loud and actionable our actions should be.
Yes.
Basically, as much as we can talk about it, as much as we should do something about it.
I agree. Unfortunately not. Again, it's almost sad how we always victimize the victim even more when they try to speak up. it's very difficult as a woman to go open a case against any form of violence because the first thing they're going to ask you is, why didn't you leave?
Even at work, a woman can't have a certain position because it's a woman.
Exactly.
And they still believe that she can't lead.
Exactly. And if she got that position, she probably did something for it. And it's still sad that we live in that world. Why can't you think that I've earned it?
Worked hard for it.
I feel like gender-based violence is a case on its own, and you've been dealing with it until you go make a case about it. So that's another case that falls in another case, and another case that falls in another case. And we are heard, but nothing is being done about it.
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing.
I also think that they're actually scared to speak about it because they're a man, they're seen as the strong one, and now they're being bullied. So I think it must be very hard for them. So I will also stand up for them and encourage people not to do gender-based violence.
Society. I'd say we shouldn't live according to the standards which the society has set. Because I feel that we're now programmed on how a man should live, how a woman should live, how a man should act, how a woman should act. And honestly, we're all humans at the end of the day. We all have feelings, we all have emotions. And this should be treated equally.
But again, I feel
We
like
all
I'm going to
should
sound
speak
like
up.
too much of a feminist right now, but who created the societal standards? It was the men. They were the ones that taught us a man is not supposed to cry, and that's what they wanted us to portray. So again, I'm not blaming them completely for this. I am saying it's time for them to throw away their toxic masculinity and own up when they're wrong, and just, admit it when you need help. Just fall apart. We're all human at the end of the day. It will make you less of a person for saying, listen, this hurts and I don't want this anymore.
Yes, and just like you said, on the stereotypes, I felt like we also played a very important role in it. Like, men do cry, men can cry. I feel like we made this stereotype that man should be the man of the house. He should be hard, he should be strong. And I feel like that gave the wrong power. I feel like we played.
And it comes to a point, it comes to a point whereby men shouldn't classify women as people who are supposed to be at home, not working, not earning certain positions because, they are women. After all, women are strong. Women are strong. Emotionally, mental women are strong. Hence, women can build. And in earth, remember that the earth that we live in, it's a she because it carries life. So a woman carries life. Wherever a woman steps in, there is life. So the same mentality that men apply on women, that's the same mentality that women should apply on men.
Thank you.
I think it's worldwide.
Globally.
How would you emphasize on that, Dania?
I don't think it only started or happened in South Africa. I mean, every guy you can see all over social media, all over the platforms of the world. It is shown that men should be strong, men should work, women should stay at home. Luckily, influencers these days, they show us that women can do anything. They can become whoever they want, and men can stay at home. They can clean the house. It's not that bad. It's actually a good thing for them to do that.
Yeah. I think it's not to say people should understand gender roles. I know we're fighting for gender equality and all of that, but there is no way that we can be equal. Like, even if we wanted to, we have different functions. What we need is gender equity. Give me what I need to get to this certain level as a woman, and we'll give you what you need as a man to get to this certain level. Provide what is needed for them to get to that certain level, because we're going to be different in different ways. We have different functions as women. And the moment we understand people's roles in our lives and specific positions we have to fill, basically. Not to say that a woman is supposed to stay at home and make babies, because that I feel like people think this is where it's going. But we can't go 50-50 in a household. I can't bear children go to work, and then you still expect me to come clean and cook. No, it can never work. We're supposed to meet each other halfway. It can never be a thing of you say a woman should bring 50 and a man should bring 50. What's your 50 as a man that you're bringing? Not that I'm downgrading men or I'm like belittling them or anything, but what is your 50 that you're bringing to the table? And I feel like the moment we start respecting people for who they are is the moment then we can start tackling gender-based violence. You start understanding this person's role. The moment you learn something, you don't abuse it. The moment you understand something's role in life, you don't abuse it. You understand that it serves a certain purpose to you and you serve a purpose to it. So therefore, there is no way you can hurt something that you understand. Because I feel like a lot of the times we hate and we reject and we destroy things we don't understand because our minds cannot comprehend what its purpose is in our life. So the moment we can actually start learning that, no, this is a human being and their purpose in my life is 1, 2, and 3, and mine is to also fulfill 1, 2, and 3. I am because you are. Things will start making sense and falling into place.
Yeah, but what I would like to add on that as well, it's not always about feeling safe with a man. I want to feel safe in a country. So I feel like at the end of the day, the government should do something about their legislation.
I agree.
It's not always about men, and it's about the country we live in. I want to feel safe in my country.
Yes, we need to feel safe to speak to anyone about being bullied or getting hurt in some way. We should all feel safe to speak about it.
Exactly.
And maybe go see someone if you need. Don't feel ashamed to have the need to go see someone or get therapy for help. Yes. I think we hope we can, but we have to actually follow up with our words and put it into action.
Actually, with this generation, I definitely believe that we can. Do this,
We definitely can.
Than
The previous.
Yes.
And we speak our minds now.
Exactly. So I feel like together, going forward, this is something we can definitely
There
do.
is hope.
If we can
definitely.
just hold ourselves accountable for what we've actually spoken about, I feel we will be able to do it. Because this and my next movement only started touching people when only a certain, you know how you'd feel sad, you would sympathize with the family, but the moment it happens to someone that's close to you, that's only when it hits different and you feel like something has to be done, and now you empathize with the people instead of sympathizing anymore. So if we can be held accountable and keep the same energy with every case, I feel like we can. I'm pretty sure we can. It's possible.
I think that only women gets bullied. Men also gets bullied.
And children.
Yes, that's
And
the most
children.
important. Yes.
And children.
I think maybe first speak to a close friend, get help from someone that you trust, that you know will listen to your problem and will not judge. And from there on, let that person help you to maybe speak to someone else and get help. Don't keep quiet. Do not keep quiet.
That's very important. Do not keep quiet. Please voice your voice because someone out there will definitely hear you. We are here to help. We are here to stand together. We are here to fight as a nation for a better future.
You are never weak. No matter whatever that you're going through, you're never weak. You'll always come out stronger from what you're facing.
With that being said, you said you're never weak. I think that's something very, very true. Like, I think the moment as people we experience something, we are sort of ashamed to tell people this is what's happening to me. It's more shame than anything. Like, how could I let this happen to me when I saw the signs? Why didn't I leave? Or I saw this and why didn't I,
I'm going to be a laughing stock.
Yeah, I'm going to be the town clown. And it's nothing like that. If anything, the moment you speak up, that's when we can actually help you and deal with the cause and fix
Maybe
it.
that will someday encourage someone else to speak up.
Exactly.
Speak up. Yes.
You should also allow help. Accept what you're going through. Acceptance. Acceptance is the first step, actually, to the entire healing process and discovering that you actually have to move forth from whatever that you're dealing with.
And you mentioned something, healing. A lot of people don't understand the moment you've been through a gender-based violence case or whatever, you've had an attack, you need healing. A lot of people just feel like just because I've dealt with it and we've wrapped it up and that's done, I move on with my life. You actually have to accept and acknowledge this happened to you, grieve it, go through all the emotions you felt. That way you never want to feel that way again. And then you move on with life.
Though it doesn't happen overnight.
It doesn't happen overnight.
But time will definitely heal.
Yeah.